How you doing, Cancer? So, pull the first row of cards, and what I saw from here was that in the past that somebody came and gave you some kind of offer, or he wanted to give you some kind of offer, but whatever it was like a false offer. Someone lacked any kind of real commitment or any kind of real staying power. It seems like Six of Swords, like they had plans to move away, or they had plans for not staying very long in whatever situation. And, you know, I guess they had plans and desires and dreams for more. Moving away from things that, you know, that didn't have a lot of substance or staying power, and walking away and no longer giving towards situations that wasn't really reciprocal, or didn't have a, you know, it wasn't like a steady offer. It was someone kind of immature. It was someone who lacked any kind of communication, because, you know, it was kind of like Nine of Cups. Like they're good for a good time, not a long time. The lack of communication or any kind of real offer was because, like, you know, they just don't have a lot to offer. And you kind of walked away from the situation because they don't have a lot to offer, and you actually went towards something else, something that actually fulfilled you, as in like a dream-wise. What's a situation? Give me a situation. Maybe you went towards a new career goal or a new situation, or you had dreams, hopes, and desires for something more, something better, something more fulfilling, and, you know, possibly something that didn't have to do with any kind of love, you know, something with a little more substance. Maybe if it was like a childhood dream or a career goal or a job aspect that you're going towards, but it's something that you dreamt of and something that you want to come to realize. So you knew that there had to be a death in situations, a death and an ending in a situation, because it just wasn't really serving you all that much. And, you know, you're kind of like giving up the wish for the dream, you know? And you know that whatever situation that was holding you up, that was confusing you, that was holding you back, you know you had to put an end to it. Now the situation is Queen of Swords and Five of Wands, that you made a cut. You cut out people, places, and things toward a situation that wasn't serving you. You put a rest towards things that, you know, had no kind of real staying power. Because it was like a lot of competition. This person kind of like, even though you didn't know it, they kind of competed against you. They compared themselves to you. Maybe they felt they came up short in some kind of way. And it became more like a competition than it became something as a friendship or a love relationship. And it was kind of like a feeling or a situation that you've kind of been there before, Cancer. Like, you know, the same kind of attitude or the same kind of like feeling of like a lack of cooperation, or feeling of somebody had to like talk down to you in some kind of way. They do that because they feel like that they didn't measure up to you, and in a way, because they didn't measure up to you, it made them feel insecure. And when they feel insecure, they had felt like they had to kind of give you small digs, or, you know, act in certain ways to make you feel kind of like unimportant in order to make themselves feel better, to elevate themselves, because it was a self-confidence thing or a self-confidence situation. So now there's so holding back towards the situation on both sides because, like this person brings a lot of drama and conflict. This person is insecure. This person has to always feel on top in order to feel okay. And if not, they get weirdly insecure. And, it's like you have to, if you kind of deal with the situation, you kind of have to put a stunt on yourself in order to, not progress past their comfort level. And it's something that you're not prepared to do because people like this, they will tend to, put a stick in your spokes, so to speak, and like hold you back and like hold you up and, sabotage you in ways. And that's where the conflict comes from. That someone wants to bring a bunch of conflict into you because they're not doing all that well right now. And that's why you're holding back from them. You don't want to have any kind of competition, no kind of petty arguments or fights, or because it's not supposed to be like that. And you're not having it. You have other things that you're concentrating on, things that will bring you more happiness in the end. Maybe in the past that you kind of felt stuck by this because if this person kind of ghosted you, or if this person kind of changed up on you really quick. Whatever kind of situation that you're in that kind of made you feel stuck because of the unknowing or the feeling of like rejection, or kind of like the stupefying, I guess. You're finally pulling yourself out of that because you found a way to refocus your energy and your concentration. Maybe in some ways you feel like yourself like drawing back on this person, like thinking about this person, or I feel like they're trying to pull on your energy a bit. And I feel like you were, but you're holding yourself back from this. And you're no longer kind of feeding it. That's why you're kind of like, you're making yourself unstuck. It's like, okay, well, I wondered before, and maybe I wondered because, there wasn't any kind of closure. But now it's like I really don't need the closure because I found a better focus, and whatever this was, it wasn't all that substantial or great or, beneficial for you anyway. So you decided to drop that burden, because it was somebody who liked to confuse you, somebody who liked to make you feel underappreciated or undervalued, or, and it was like, as a way to like, as a manipulation game, to maybe they felt like they weren't all that good enough for you, and in a way to make themselves feel better, they had to put you down, and or maybe treat you like you were less than, and maybe as a way to like try to get you to concentrate on them or think about them constantly, obsess about them, people who ghost you all of a sudden and leave those open doors. You kind of like, it was like a manipulation tactic that would keep other people kind of stuck. But you're like, I'm just going to drop this. It's too heavy. And I'm going to let it go. Because you know what? I'm going to stand in my strength. I am the emperor. And I'm going to make executive decisions on this bitch because, like, I got dreams, I got goals, and it definitely doesn't involve a bunch of person or people who doesn't offer all that much. You might have been doing a whole clearing out of this season, like decluttering people, places, and things that don't serve you. If it was a friends group or a family group system, or like a career job situation where you felt gaped up on or unsupported, you decided to kind of let it go because it was like a battle that you couldn't really win. And you found that no matter how much you tried, nothing ever really improved it. Or, it's like, even if you tried to state your case or how you felt, and then suddenly you kind of found out that all of that extra work and explaining and energy that you put in to explain or get someone to understand, it It landed on deaf ears. And that's why you decided to move ahead. I feel like this person in the past offered you something, or tried to come back after ghosting you, expecting that you would be happy to see this person, but you weren't really, because what they didn't know is that you already kind of made a cut to this person in this situation, that they wanted to ghost and to kind of like play a lot of mind games to get you obsessing about them or thinking about them, to leaving a door closed in order to get you to think on them. You're like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that to rest, you know, because it's not what I want, and I'm not gonna feed the things that I don't want, you know. You decided to leave high conflict things. I think when this person came around, they were actually leaving a lot of problems, because it's like whatever attitude that they came around you or dealt with you with, like, you're not the same kind of person if they kind of like led you on, or if they kind of like, you know, came in and out of their life or things like that. I feel like they do that with other people too. And whoever that they were leaving behind, I feel like they were coming out of some kind of conflict and they wanted to come back towards you. And I think this person was like kind of juggling. Maybe you were unknowingly a third party and that's where they were going when they were ghosting. I have a feeling that this person has a couple of options in order to feel like that they're never alone somehow. They have to go and fill their cup at other places where they can, and that's why they keep a lot of side situations in order for them to always, you know, get their cup filled. But this person, they lack dedication. They are lustful. They're not careful. They're impulsive. You know, it's somebody who doesn't think things through. Somebody who can be really impulsive, not only with their actions but also with their finances. Perhaps there could be made some kind of bad decisions in money, and or they're having money issues, and that's why they were just kind of just so selfish, because they were just focusing on themselves and what they got, and they didn't want to have to be responsible for anybody but themselves, and that's why they kind of held back. But then they thought that they could come back in with that lack of communication, with that feeling of, you know, that devaluing and discarding, you know, as a way to like build some kind of trauma bond within a person. And, you know, in order to get somebody to constantly think about them, what do? You have like a, you know, you build a connection, you love bomb, you kind of, you know, you build that connection and that relationship. But then, you know, then you start to devalue after a while. They start, you know, giving you those small digs, insults, stop kind of complimenting you, or stop kind of like making plans with you or communicating with you. And they kind of go ghost, because it's like, it was kind of a manipulation game in order for them to give as little as they expect to without giving any more, but still ensure that they have an empty, like an open door for them to come through whenever they're ready, because, you know, it would get them kind of like thinking on you, because how do you get someone obsessing about you and thinking about you constantly? You don't give a person any kind of closure and you leave them wondering. And I feel like this is what that person tried to do. And I feel like it for a little while you did, but then, you know, you pulled a 180 and you're like, screw this. Why am I going to think about somebody who doesn't even put that extra time in me? Instead, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build my own foundation and my own abundance, and I'm going to nurture my own and my own situation. I feel like this person also kind of had like another person on the side that maybe you unknowingly or knowingly knew about. Somebody that they were still involved with, somebody that they were still hung up on. And they were stuck on this person for a while, and I feel like that they were running back and forth to both of you, whether either of you knew it or not. And that's why you're like, why am I going to keep an open door or window for somebody who like doesn't even give me crap, and you know, who actually just drains my energy and situation. I feel like you were kind of drained, and that's why it was like these little immature games, like you kind of were able to like pick it out. You were able to actually see them and observe them, and perhaps you went through a situation like this, and you know, for a younger energy who would play these kind of games thinking that it would work for everybody, you're like the more experienced energy. You're like, you know, if you're gonna go ghost, go ghost. I'll put an end to this and we'll move on. You know, because like it's too much of a burden, it's too heavy, and maybe they thought it was too much of a responsibility too, and that's why they were resistant to it, especially now that they try to come back and you block them out. Now they're trying to make a head and heart decision. They feel like that their options aren't as open as they thought they were, and now they're kind of worried about it. Oh shit, did I do the wrong thing, kind of thing. I feel like whatever this person had some kind of relationship or situation that they had going on. Perhaps they lived long distance, or, you know, and this kind of ended. And they thought that you would have an open door for them, but oh, no, no. We found that window's closed. And you're not having it. And good. Because this person's got nothing to offer. Look at all that. It's not even Knight of Wands in reverse. This person's a hoe bag. Nothing's changed. Two of Wands in reverse. A lack of working together. A lack of compromise. Someone's selfish. There's no expansion. And, you know, with Empress in reverse, there's no development here. There's no nurturing here. And you're not looking to nurture it either. It's like, you picked the wrong person, you know, man or lady. And look. With Five of Swords. Winning at all costs. I feel like whoever that they were with before, whatever partner that they were with, maybe the main person and you were the secondary or whatever, that's come to an end. I feel like they possibly definitely cheated on them. Maybe they knew that they were a hoe, and that's kind of how everything kind of went down, because they felt that they were uncommitted, so they became uncommitted. I don't know. But whatever the situation, this person's super immature. This person really needs attention. This person kind of hops from one person to another, and he can't fill his own cup. And that's why he needs that extra validation and attention from people that he could get. He thought that he would come back towards you and be able to bounce again and be able to take what he needs, and, you know, but you saw differently because you know who this person is now. And you walking away from this person will bring balance back into your life. Now, you put an ending to this Knight of Wands in reverse character. They feel rejected now because perhaps they try to reach out to you, and what they got was, they found out that you blocked them or cut them out, surprisingly. You feel like they're drama, and they are. And you wanted to move away from some kind of drama because I think you felt it in your bones. You felt that there was something off, or there was something else going on that you weren't really sure about. And maybe you asked this person about it, or you kind of suspected this person, or actually you kind of suspected it because there was like someone who was kind of short with you, someone who was kind of like egotistical, someone who acted kind of like better than you, or, like, what they didn't understand is like, like, you don't really need the attention like they do. And maybe that's what surprised them. Maybe they thought you were just as codependent as they were. Or whatever trick that they used to use, like, it didn't quite work out. It didn't work this time. You're not even considering giving this person an offer, and you're holding back towards him. And now he feels like he lost out, because he did. Because once you focus your energy onto something that you know that is right for you, perhaps your path, something that is more emotionally fulfilling, whether it's a dream or a goal or a career, or even another situation and relationship, instead of like focusing or obsessing on this person who try to traumatize you in a way to get some kind of trauma bond, or get you obsessed or kind of thinking on them constantly, now they're the ones that lost out. Because they wanted to get what they could when they can, and they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. They wanted this full-time relationship and wife, and they wanted to be able to sleep around. And I feel like this person was like, he slept around a lot. You decided to put the energy and nurturing back into yourself and move away from this. And you're putting a death towards anyone who would bring a lot of conflict into your life, a lot of confusion, or would try to play any kind of bullshit mind games, because you know what? You're busy. This is kind of like you're building something. You're building something that's going to be huge. And you are planting to seeds to be able to support yourself in your situation, because not some kind of partner. They're not going to be the person that takes care of you and you could depend on for the rest of your life. Like, you're a lot more grounded towards this situation. If this person doesn't really have a lot to offer, and you kind of knew that going in, so that's why you didn't really rest on this. But this person got kind of a big ego. I guess they thought that they were like God's gift and you would be thinking on them the whole time, but then in reality, like, you were quick as hell to like kind of drop the situation and move on to like, to like areas that's actually going to give you a lot more. You've had a lot of relationships like this. People that would come around and, try to undermine you, try to argue with you and compete with you. It's because you do have a lot of high value gifts. And they do see your potential. And that's why whatever potential that you have, your gifts, Like they feel a need to kind of like compete against you. And, and you may have taken a hit with your self-confidence a little because of that, but you have to understand it's because, they felt like they had to compete. Because in the only kind of people that do that is the people that feel like they don't measure up, you know? What are you going towards, Cancer? Something you dreamed of when you were young? I feel like there's a sense of going for your dreams and to actually putting the work and time in it. You want to change within your life, and you're aware that if in order to make that change, you have to put the work in to do it. Somebody with high conflict is going to come in. Somebody, possibly the same person or, another person within your life that you have cut out in the past who wants to bring a bunch of conflict. The fact that they might come in trying to start some shit. Or they wanted to compete with you to make you feel less than by the lack of communication and moving away. As I said before, the best thing that you can do is to not respond and not feed it. If you're thinking about reaching out to this person, I don't think you should, because all it ever does is the only thing that it brings around is competition. This person feels threatened every time that you do well or you're doing better than them. And how you're going to live your life by, developing the best that you can achieve, and with somebody who lacks any kind of support for you. And the moment that you have any kind of accomplishment, they start feeling bad about themselves. It doesn't seem like a very beneficial relationship for you or for anyone involved with this person, because this person kind of seems jealous. This person doesn't put the work in for themselves, and it's like you could kind of see that. This person is like kind of high conflict, or maybe they even thought that of you. So they held back, and the best thing that you can do is hold back as well, because of course this person doesn't offer much of anything. Keep building. Build those foundations on the shaky foundations that it broke apart, because the mask has come off with this person. Like whatever kind of, facade that they try to come off with. Oh, sweet and nice, blah, blah, blah. You see them for what they are. Someone who's an attention whore. Someone who needs validation from other people to make themselves feel better. And somebody who can't be happy for you or supportive for you whenever you strive at your very best to create things and have them be supportive of you while you do that. Instead, every time that you made a progression, it became like a threat to them, and don't even deal with it, because this person's going to hold you back. You had to make the cuts, and you did. And, in order for you to create more stable foundations for yourself, you learn how to give back to yourself and to refocus your energy and your nurturing back to yourself. Because whenever these people are around, they were non-supportive. They didn't help you. And you only want good people around. You want people on your level. You want people who are striving for things and have enthusiasm and having that mutual support and love for the people that they have around them, and actually be supportive of their, accomplishments, not tearing the other person down, because any accomplishment that a person has makes this first person feel bad, and you would have to kind of like dim your own light in order for them to feel comfortable. And, that's going to be your life if you ever deal with this person, or if you decide to deal with this person again. Because it's important for you to keep working on what you're doing, establishing like your goals and your dreams and your career paths. Because look, you're creating a new life. And it's saying go to distance, keep planting those seeds. Because this is going to bring you a lot more stability and happiness than this situation ever did. I feel like your guardian angel came around and helped you out with this as well. If you're feeling those nudges that there's something wrong with this person or situation, I feel like your guardian angel definitely made themselves known to you, and they were giving you these nudges in order for you to see what was really going on. Keep moving forward, Cancer. You got amazing things ahead of you, and you had a huge soul regression and a huge evolution. And this was the first cycle within your life, and this was the first kind of like test. When you're building a foundation, when you're building a home, what do you do when you build a home? You make sure that the terrain is steady and flat, and it has a strong foundation to build on. You don't build on top of you don't build castles on top of sand. And that's kind of what I see dealing with this person, because this is kind of like the situation that this person finds them in. They build a bunch of unsteady foundations and unsteady situations, and then they're surprised that they don't have anything of substance or value in the end. Because it's either like a lack of building on steady foundations, and or a lack of really like putting the work into themselves. And the best thing that you can do for yourself, your future, your dreams, and your career is to walk away from this, because this person will hold you back. But that's what I got for you, Cancer. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, donation box below. And if you feel moved to do so, if not, still love you lots, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.